Digimon World Next Order is a sequel to Digimon World that was released on PlayStation 1 in 1999. The Digimon World series has a great focus in being a virtual pet simulator with RPG elements. You are thrown into the digital world from the cry of your partners to help stop the rise of machine Dramons, causing havoc and destruction that will most likely lead to its end. Unlike other Digimon tamers, you have two partners, which you need to raise to be the saviors of this world. In your care, there are two Digitama, who are the reincarnations of the War Greymon and Metal Garurumon you met in the introduction clip scene. The first thing that the Digimon Influentia will introduce you to is the Training Hall, which you need to utilize in order to digivolve your partners to their rookie level. If you go to the menu, you can see that there is something similar to a skill tree, or in this case, an evolution tree, which shows the types of Digimon that you can obtain. However, some of them cannot be accessed until you get into the second generation. And yes, by second generation, I do mean that there will be a point where your Digimon will move on and return to being Digitama in order to be reborn stronger as the game progresses. In the first generation, focusing on strength, speed, and stamina in the training hall will be the best method for beginners. As soon as your Digimon hit rookie level, the best thing to do would be to take them out into night planes and get to fighting other Digimon to get stronger. Here's an example of the battle scene, and a few things you need to pay attention to is the level of HP and MP and order power so you can make sure your Digimon win in their fights. Order power is something you gain with the timing of your Digimon's attacks. As soon as their attacks land on the enemy, press the support button so that your Digimon will gain order power for their special attacks. If you randomly spam the support button, then your Digimon will not gain that much in order power and may ultimately not be able to use their special attacks. The battles can only be described as a real-time tactic, as you are not in full control of your Digimon, but instead are managing the items, moves, and observing their HP, MP, and order power to make sure that they can win and survive the battle itself. Most of it is AI-generated movement, and the attacks landing are not certain, which adds to the entertaining aspect of the gameplay. HP and MP stands for the health power and mana power, and depending on the enemy, there are times when you need to conserve your mana power in order to allow your Digimon to survive the battle. If mana is too low, it will result in them getting fatigued and possibly unable to continue. That is why, if you're stuck in a rut, make sure that you have items that you can use to help aid your Digimon by gaining HP and MP in the battle if you're running low. You will come to face many different kinds of monsters in your journey, and not everyone can be beaten the exact same way. That is where your tactics menu comes in. The tactics will allow you to choose whether or not you should be utilizing more MP for the battle or not, and that is all dependent on the Digimon you're raising. I find that you don't have to look into the whole zoology of that depending on how much time you want to spend in the game, and you can usually tell by how many items you're using up in battle. Too much, definitely turn down MP low. Too little, maybe you can boost up the MP a little bit. If things seem like they're in a pinch though, it is best to go back to the tactics menu and hit that escape button which you would rather leave as a last resort. The reason being is because it will decrease the Digi-Friend bond, which is the bond between the two Digimon partners. This can help with combos and more attack stuff in the future. Honestly, my best way of acting upon this is actually saving the game prior to a heated battle, so I can just reload the save file and start from there so no stats are lost. The reason that you need to battle and excel in raising your Digimon is not just the idea of saving the world, but also Influentia, who have experienced the aftermath of a machine Digimon attack and require the citizens to help bring back life to the town again. In Night Plains, you might find Digimon that have a blue exclamation mark on top of their head. Complete their task, and they will return to Floatia as a resident and be able to help you with an aspect of the game, where it be more resources or even helping your crops to grow, aka meat. They're different from enemies who, if they spot you, will have a red eye icon which will give you a chance to flee from the possibility of battle to a safer area. You can kind of tell which enemy to pick a fight with and who to run from. Enemies with blue under their name and level will be easier for your Digimon to beat. Enemies with a red underline will not be an easy fight, and you might want to run or escape mid-battle in case they prove to be too much to handle. Believe it or not, this game is not just about battling, but also a town-raising aspect. While you are exploring with your Digimon, they will help you to be able to find materials that are not only good items for you to keep on hand, but also materials which can help rebuild the town and its resources. Now that you know the general idea of the game, the bread and butter is how you raise your Digimon into great heroes that can save the digital world. The design of the raising in your Digimon is what we highlighted earlier, how the Digimon has a specific skill set and skill tree that can show what your Digimon may evolve into. The important part is primarily listening to your Digimon throughout the game. They will have favorite foods that will want to pay attention to, and by feeding them this, it will improve their mood and bond with you. Making sure that your Digimon poop in the toilets throughout the map is as important to feeding them. If they poop on the ground, then it adds a curse to their evolution, which in result could affect the overall stats of every generation. It depends on what Digimon you want to acquire in your adventure, but if you're just starting out, it's probably best for you to try to avoid it as much as possible. Don't worry, the poop will disappear when the Digimon evolve or when the city is upgraded. The idea is to support your Digimon throughout their journey. The producer of the game, Kazusama Habu, stated, "They don't obey you sometimes. It's kind of like having a pet and trying to make them do what you want. It takes a while to raise them, but that's why you need to put love into the Digimon you raise." This factor is shown throughout the whole part of the game.
Okay, gather round.
Overall, Digimon World Next Order showcases to be an amazing successor of the original pet simulator real-time tactics game that was released in 1991. Its game design and mechanics have proven to show that it's a worthy port for the Switch and PC, and I'm looking forward to the new games that are going to be in the Digimon World series.